Hi people, today I am going to discuss about a passion project of rebranding an ice cream brand called Cold Stone Creamery. So let's begin. So here it goes. The first thing we have to figure out while doing a redesign is to figure out why are we redesigning? What are the main reasons? So for redesigning Cold Stone Creamery, but before starting the redesign project, first we should know something about what is Cold Stone Creamery. So Cold Stone Creamery is an ice cream brand which was started by Susan and Donald Sutherlands because they were in search of the world's fantastic ice cream, the most fabulous ice cream, and unfortunately they couldn't find any, so they made their own brand. Okay, so Cold Stone Creamery was found in Tempe. The first shop was found in Tempe, Arizona, 1988. And the main features of Cold Stone Creamery are it is containing 14% milk fat or butter fat, that is 2 to 3% above the industry average. Okay, so if it is having 4% milk fat or butter fat, that means it is going to be actually more thick and more creamier than rest of the other ice creams, and which is also 2 to 3% above the industry average. You got it? And it has low overrun. Overrun is the amount of air pumped into the ice creams so that they can look more thick and more fluffy and more creamier. But Cold Stone Creamery is not doing that. It is having a low overrun. Another special feature is Cold Stone uses spatula-like utensils on a frozen granite slab. That means they have a bunch of ice creams and then they have a granite slab. So they pick ice creams of their customer's choice and they keep that ice cream on the granite slab, and then they mix it with spatula. So that granite slab is 16 degrees Fahrenheit cold. Granite stone chilled to 16 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so these are the main points, and the rest you can take a screenshot of this brief so that you can get an idea of Cold Stone Creamery. Okay, so now we shall skip to why are we redesigning Cold Stone. So what I found about the logotype is I quite frankly I found it really ugly. You can see these toppings, they are looking like worms, and the logo is very generic, very obvious, em- it is embedded in a circle and just a random ice cream. It's looking very generic, very untidy also. It is cluttered with too many elements. You can see so many strokes and so many circles, so many spirals, so it is making the logo feel more cluttered. And if a logo is more cluttered, it is going to be very problematic when we are printing it on a real basis. For example, if it's getting printed on cups, ice cream cups, or waffle papers or cupcake papers, so that is going to be very difficult if it is a complex and having too many elements all over the place, you can see. Okay, so these are the problems I found with the logo mark. Switching on to the logo type, I don't hate it, but I think it can be more cohesive with the brand. You know, as you understand about the brand more, you'll get what I'm saying. But it is actually giving a feeling of authority and authenticity. But still, I feel it can reflect more of Cold Stone personality, and it does not have any unique personality according to me. I personally believe that a unique personality distinct to a particular logotype or a logo mark, it makes it memorable, because that personality won't be found in any other logotype or any other logo mark. So for me, a logo mark or a logotype carrying a distinct personality is very important. It can be subjective to designer, but for me, a logo having a personality is the key thing. There should be one thing about the logo mark that your audience, that your customers should always remember. Not more, not two, not three, but one thing about the logo mark, which I feel is very important. So those are the reasons why I felt like redesigning, giving it a redesign. Also, I don't like the very cliche red colors, the red and yellow and white. It's very boring. So, let's start with the brainstorming and the sketching part. How are we going to move ahead? Going on to sketching, you can see I have tried many concepts using different fonts. Okay, then I tried to use this font, and then something clicked when I saw the C and the S. They both are very curvy, and they're giving a splash of ice cream like feeling. So what I thought, if we could keep the C above the horizontal S, it can look like two or three scoops of ice cream, and we can keep it on a waffle or something like that. So that was the main idea I got, and then I started working on it. So the next step, after I sketch an idea, and if I like it, then I go to selecting the logo type, that is the main font for the logo type or the logo mark. Because in many cases I use the initials, especially in this case I am supposed to use the C and the S from the Cold Stone. So I must know the font first, that what sort of C and S will I have to use in the logo mark as well. So that's why the next step is finding the fonts. Okay, I will make a detailed video on how do I think before choosing a font. But for this video, these are the three fonts I chose. Okay, the first font I really like because it is very, and very intactly packed, and it's giving me vibes of that thick condensed frozen ice cream kept in freezers. Okay, and it is also corresponding to what they were saying, that these are having very low overrun, and they have high butter fat value. So uh, there is less air pump, that's why they are so much intact and densely packed together. So this font is giving me that vibe. Okay, then the next font, I really like this whipped cream look of the C and the S and this thick O, because the C and the S are, they are giving me that scoopy vibes and that dripping effect, when your ice cream melts and it drips in your hands. So that dripping effect or that scoopy effect is what I really liked about this font. So I like both of them. So somehow I want to keep both the characteristics together. How I collaborated both of them, I'll show you in another video. For now, when I combined both of them, the final logotype turned out like this. Okay, so this is the customized logotype. You see that the big bulging scoop of the C and the S I have kept intact. I've also added this scoopy effect on the below of the S also. Okay, I've customized the D. I've kept the L, the T, and the N same as what it was for the original font, because too much of customization makes it more cluttered, but this is having a balanced structure all over, you know a perfect combination of the thick and the strong lines, and also the dripple effect and the scoopy effect, the creamy effect of ice cream. So this was the customized final logo type. Now, going on to making the logo mark, we have to look at the C and the S on the next slide. So it goes, this was the final sketch that was approved. Okay, so this is the C, this is the S. So we are taking the C and the S, and then we are like stacking them together. So here we see that it's not looking like scoop, so we have to alter the size, obviously. Okay, so here it's going like this. I have elongated the S horizontally, and then I have merged it with along with the pencil tool. I have merged it. Okay, so it looks like, there are three scoops, two below and one on top of it. So there are three scoops stuck together, which is going to be either in a ice cream cup or in a waffle, anything. And then another thing that was very interesting I found after this logo was made is the logo is made up of C and S, but then if you see in the negative space also, there is a C and an S. So that was very much, surprising to me. I really liked it. Tell me your views in the comments. Okay, so somehow it's looking like this. In the next step, I added a waffle cone. Okay, so it looks like a waffle ice cream or a waffle cup ice cream. It's not moving too much away from the original logo because I'm keeping the ice cream concept intact. That is because, for so many years, I think if it started in 1888, so maybe for around 30 years, the concept of ice cream has been more familiar to the customers. The customers know their logo as in, simple ice cream. So I did not want to move too much away from that concept also, but I do want it to look more customized and more appealing, more thoughtful for the brand. So that's why I actually like this simple ice cream, but not exactly very generic. Okay, so but then again I thought if we can add a little more personality instead of a waffle. Okay, so I told you to remember a very important of their ice creams is that they use a 16 degrees Fahrenheit cold granite slab for mixing their ice creams. I went on Google, I took a picture, okay, then I drew inspiration like this, made a 2D symbol for that granite slab, and then see what next, like this. Okay, so this is a granite slab. Okay, and also it is depicting ice cream cone or waffle. So it is giving that dual purpose of symbolizing the very important feature that of 16 degrees cold granite slab, which Cold Stone Creamery was, I think, one of the first brands to launch this idea. Okay, and then ice cream scoop on top of it. To me, it was resonating very much. I thought of moving a step further if we can incorporate this in logotype as well. So here it goes. I will change the top of the T with this granite slab symbol, and then it goes like this. Now the logo mark and the logotype are much more cohesive. It has much more depth to it. That why now if a customer sees, still their mind and think about it a little, they'll see the slab and the T of the same shape. So some of them will surely wonder why it is kept like that, and when they know the story that it's depicting that granite slab and then cone together, so that is always going to be there in their minds forever. And this T, it also looks like a pillar supporting the granite slab when you go to an ice cream parlor. So it's giving those vibes. And now if we put all of these ideas together, stone paper scissors, and that's how the final logo mark and the logotype is coming out. So that's my final combination logo mark. Okay, so let me know in the comments how did you feel about it. In this video we discussed about the brief of the Cold Stone Creamery, why we decided to rebrand it, redesign it, the problems in the existing logo mark. Okay, and then we discussed in detail the concept before making the new logo mark and the logo type. In the coming videos I will be discussing in detail about selecting the brand font for Cold Stone Creamery and also the color palette, then the brand illustrations and patterns, and then finally we'll switch to making real mock-ups in the real world. Okay,